Hello, and guess what time it is? Guess what time of year? It's mid-year, which means it's time for the mid-year book freakout. So I sort of prepared for this one a little bit better than I normally do. Been on BookTube for like three and a half, three, yeah. Been on BookTube. I've been posting on BookTube regularly since 2021. So I've done the mid-year book freakout tag twice. This is my third time doing it. So I did kind of prepare for this one. I have answers in my head already. So I'm going to start out. What was the best book I read all year? So the best book I read all year is actually a book called Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. This is a book about a man in a small town in Ireland that's controlled by the church, and he learns I think he's like a coal miner or something to do with coal. And he's making a delivery to a convent one day, and he discovers something very sinister going on in the convent that sort of reminds him of his own past. And little bit spoiler, it has to do with who his father is. He doesn't know who his father is, but then he kind of starts to remember some memories in his past, and he thinks he knows who his father is. And it's honestly was really reminiscent of The Dead by James Joyce. You can see, I'll put the cover on screen, that there's a lot of snow on the cover, and the last line in James Joyce's novelette, it's really a novelette, and this Small Things Like These advertises itself as a novel, even though it's not long enough to be a novel. It's only 118 pages, which would translate to probably about 30,000 words. So it's a novella, it's not a novel. But it packs a punch. And so I think on my review of it, the first line was James Joyce is alive and well, because this had to be a major homage to The Dead, with the snow and the sort of middle-aged Irishman trying to figure out what the hell he's doing with his life. Obviously, the progression of where the story goes is very, very different, but you do see the criticism of the Catholic Church, the way the Catholic Church treats women, and the man's search for meaning amongst the faintly falling snow. All right, so best sequel. I have it right here. Like I said, I'm prepared. So this could go two ways, but I'm going to give it to Enemy of God. This is book 2 in the Warlord Chronicles. Yeah, Warlord Chronicles, which is his Arthurian retelling. And I've kind of been told that, to get as much as you can get out of this novel or this series, you kind of got to be familiar with the Arthur story, and I am not. All I know is something about, like, the Sword in the Stone, Guinevere cheats on Arthur with Lancelot, which actually happens in this book. We get the cheating scene in this book, and I agree with Alan. Lancelot is one of the best villains in literature. He really is. But at the same time, I'm kind of in love with him. So men, just be a dick and I'll fall in love with you, I guess. I don't know. But I think it really is a testament to Cornwell's writing, how I was able to fall in love with such a bad guy. And the character, Nimue, is how we would say it in English, or at least in America. I think her Celtic name would be more like Nimue, but we say Nimue, and it's just way easier to say. She is an amazing character. She's the Lady of the Lake in the Arthurian retelling, but she's like a literal human in this. And she kind of lets herself go, like, physically in this book, and it's really funny to see people's reactions to, like, the smelly, disgusting Nimue, so it just cracks me up. So this book took me a long time to get through. This book took me a really long time to get through because it's just on a really high reading level. I mean, I would never put this in my classroom. I teach freshmen and seniors, and they would not enjoy this. This is something that I would give my students as an assignment, not as something to enjoy, because it's cumbersome, but it is a great story, and I'm excited to get to book 3. Okay, so a new release I haven't read yet, but want to. So this is a book, I actually pre-ordered this book. This is In Memoriam. It is a story about 2 best friends from England during the outbreak of World War II. No, World War I. I'm so sorry. You can tell. Can't believe I just confused the world wars. Oh my god. That was like unforgivable sin. But In Memoriam takes place, obviously, World War I. 2 English pals, guy friends, are in love with each other, but neither knows that about each other. So it's a queer story. It's perfect for June because it's Pride Month, and it's historical fiction World War I, which is one of my favorite time periods, and historical fiction is my favorite genre. And I've honestly never really been super moved by male-male romances, and I don't know why. So I'm hoping that there will be something in this that just really speaks to me. I don't know if it's just the female in me that I really love sapphic stuff, and I love the dynamics of relationships, either sapphic romance or just female friendship between females. But hopefully I can latch on to these 2 men and really, really become affected, because I hear this is a tearjerker, and I need to cry. So, moving on. Anticipated release. Emma Donoghue, who's my favorite author, actually has another book coming out in August. So it's going to be, I don't even really know that much about it, other than she's got a new book coming out, and I think it's a sapphic love story. So that would be my most anticipated release, just Emma Donoghue's new book. She's an auto-buy author for me. And I would have said that Andrew Watson's debut fantasy novel would have been, like, if I had done this earlier, like 3 days ago, that would have been my most anticipated, but he's already released it. So I guess I could have put that for new release I haven't read yet, but want to. So we'll switch it up. So Andrew Watson's book will do for most new release I haven't read yet, but want to, but this is a new release I haven't read yet, but have immediate plans to read. Biggest disappointment. I've got it right here, guys. Let me pull them off the shelf. Sharp. No, didn't like it. So evidently this is a terrible place to start with Sharp novels. I started with it because look right there. It's got a 1. So it's the first book, I guess. And Sharp as a character, we didn't really learn much about him other than that his mother's a prostitute, and he didn't really have much of a personality, and I totally did not ship him with his love interest. Sharp and Louisa, like, no. Least favorite couple ever. Moving on. New favorite author, Claire Keegan. Yeah, I'm gonna say either Claire Keegan or, whoa, boys, no fighting. Some drama. So I would say either Claire Keegan or Bernard Cornwell. I've read more Cornwell books, but he's not, like, I've read a lot of Cornwell books this year, but he's not, like, a new to me this year author. I actually discovered him last year when I read Winter King. But he's a new, like, I guess, perennial favorite. But Claire Keegan, that's my new favorite, new to me author. All right, new fictional crush, Lancelot. New favorite character. This one I haven't totally figured out. I'm gonna say Nimue. Nimue is my new favorite character. All right, book that made me cry. Haven't cried yet. I haven't cried since November of 2021 when I read Salt to the Sea. hopefully in memoriam will make me cry. And book that made me happy. I finished Fables, the Fables comics, and I was really satisfied with the ending. So that made me happy. Favorite book to movie adaptation I've seen this year is season 3 of His Dark Materials. I really like it. We're really getting into the anti-theism elements of it, and it's really overt and it is not shying away from it. It's very in your face, and I am having a really, really good time. So, book that surprised me was actually Heir to the Empire. It's a Star Wars book, and it very much surprised me. I was shocked, actually, that I liked it. Alright, so my favorite video that I've posted this year. My favorite video, I'm gonna say, is the Kingsbridge video I did, because I really like talking about Ken Follett, and also Ken Follett retweeted it. So there's that. And then a book you really need to finish by the end of the year. I'm not gonna say there is a book that I really need to finish, and if I don't finish it, I'm gonna beat myself up. But a book that I want to finish the series is Excalibur. So this is, my guinea pigs are arguing again. So this is the third, and it's a little chunky, but not bad. This is the third and final book in the Warlord Chronicles. And that's it. So I would tag somebody, but tags are kind of out of fashion. We don't do tags anymore. So if you're ready and you're watching this, go do it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words. And on June 30th, I have another story coming out in a literary magazine. So, buy it. So, see you guys.